This is Gamla over here, and actually Gamla is right there. That is Gamla. Gamla in Hebrew is Gamal. Say Gamal. Gamal means camel because it reminds of a camel hump when you look at it from here. Gamla is in Aramaic. There's lots of similarities between Hebrew and Aramaic. Gamla is an amazing story. During the revolt of the Jews against the Romans, the one that ended with the destruction of Masada, as we all know, that was in 73 AD. It all started here in Galilee. And there were Jewish towns and villages that were very poor and they had not much to lose. So engaging battle with the Romans to them didn't mean much because it could have been any worse than their current situation. But on the other hand, there were Jewish towns that were very prosperous and had a lot to lose by fighting against the Romans. And actually we know about a few Jewish towns that simply decided to not fight against the Romans. A few of the Roman soldiers sneaked underneath that tower, started to dig under the foundations, and the tower collapsed. And then the Jews panicked. The Romans stormed into the city and the Jewish people ran all the way to the top over there, and 5,000 Jewish people threw themselves to the ravine, and 5,000 Jews were killed by the sword of the Romans. And that is how all 10,000 people of Gamla were killed. Gamla fell into the hands of the Romans in 67, and Gamla was liberated by the Israeli army in 1967. And again, I don't believe in coincidence. I think that everything has a reason for how it works and why it works this way. And to me, as a Jew, when I see Gamla, when I see the synagogue of Gamla, when I picture what happened here to my ancestors who really tried to defend their Judaism, when someone says to me, give this away, this is not your land, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I would have never negotiated this or any part of the Golan. I wouldn't give even 1 inch of it. And it doesn't matter what's happening in Syria. The rebels, ISIS, I don't care about that. Even if there was a legitimate regime over there, it has nothing to do with it. This is Jewish land. And Gamla, by the way, is only one of many Jewish places that were discovered here. I'm talking about oil presses and synagogues and towns from 2,000 years ago, from 2,200 years ago, from 2,500 years ago. How in the world can this not be part of what the Jewish people own? This is my history, my culture, my everything is right here. And when you combine this with modern day history of the Golan Heights, which we will talk about later, and all the thousands of Israeli young soldiers that lost their lives to protect this, then the message is clear that we should protect it and keep it. Also because God has given this to us. And I think that we also have to honor God and say, yes, God, whatever you gave us, we will protect and defend with our lives.